Welcome back to the channel JF Coin. Today we're diving deep into one of the most underrated and surprising treasures in American coinage, the 1984 Lincoln penny. Trust me, by the end of this video you're going to start checking every penny that crosses your path. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American history since 1909. That's over a century of history stamped into this little coin. The 1984 edition might look like any other Lincoln cent at first glance, but don't be fooled. What makes the 1984 penny so special? It's not just its age. It's the combination of errors, rarity, and the interest from collectors across the world. Minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, the 1984 penny was struck in vast numbers. But it's the small imperfections, the overlooked details, and the few anomalies that turn this coin from spare change into a valuable collector's item. Here's where things get exciting. One of the most talked about versions of the 1984 penny is known for its double-ear Lincoln variety. That's right, double ear. A rare mint error caused Abraham Lincoln's ear to appear doubled on the obverse side of the coin. It's a striking and unmistakable error that serious collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. And we're not talking a few bucks. These coins have been auctioned for over $800. Some even touch the $884 mark in pristine condition. Look at the ear on this coin. See that second lobe? That's not a shadow. That's an actual die error. What makes this even more interesting is that only a limited number of these were ever found in circulation. The rest possibly still out there, lost in pockets, jars, or coin rolls. So how can you tell if your 1984 penny is the jackpot version? Here's what to look for. First, the mint mark. The double-ear variety is most commonly found on pennies minted in Philadelphia, which means no mint mark under the ear. Second, under good lighting and with a magnifying lens, inspect Lincoln's ear. If you see what appears to be a duplicate ear lobe just behind the original, you might be holding something truly rare, and condition matters a lot. A penny in average circulated condition might fetch a few dollars, but one in near mint state condition, graded by a professional service, can skyrocket in value. Collectors and dealers are willing to pay premiums for pennies in top shape, especially when it's a known error coin. Let's talk numbers. Recently, auctions and online sales have shown that the 1984 double-ear penny can sell anywhere from $50 in lightly circulated condition to well over $800 if it's graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC. In fact, there have been listings that closed at exactly $884 for this tiny piece of copper. Not bad for a coin that originally cost just 1 cent, right? But it's not just about the double-ear error. Some collectors also look for off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks on 1984 cents, all of which can add to the coin's value. The key is uniqueness and condition. That's what drives up the price. Now you might be wondering, if I find one, what do I do with it? Great question. First, get it appraised by a reputable coin dealer or submit it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Second, decide whether to keep it as part of your growing collection or list it for sale on auction sites like eBay or specialized coin markets. Just make sure your listing includes sharp, clear photos and a description of the error. Remember, in the world of coin collecting, trust and accuracy matter. The better you document your find, the more serious buyers will be. So the next time someone tells you that a penny is just a penny, think again. That little copper coin in your change could be hiding a secretan error that turns a single cent into hundreds of dollars. Keep your eyes open, check your pockets, dig through your coin jars, and start hunting. Because the 1984 Lincoln penny just might change your life. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a rare coin tip. Drop a comment below if you've ever come across a valuable penny or if you're about to start searching. Until next time, happy collecting. Today's video is going to blow your mind because we are diving deep into a small copper coin that could be worth hundreds of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about the amazing 1985 1-cent Lincoln penny from the United States. It may look like your average, everyday penny, but hidden among those common coins is a treasure trove of rare varieties that could fetch you up to $663 or more. In today's collector market segment, the history of the 1985 Lincoln cent, more than just pocket change. Let's rewind a little to truly appreciate what makes this coin so special. The Lincoln cent has a rich history that goes all the way back to 1909, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first American coin to feature a real person. Fast forward to 1985. The penny still bore the iconic Lincoln design on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design by Frank Gasparo introduced in 1959. But by 1985, something else had changed the metal composition. Up until 1982, pennies were made primarily of 95% copper, but rising copper prices forced the U.S. Mint to shift to a zinc core with a thin copper plating. That change would affect how pennies age, tone, and even sound when dropped. So the 1985 penny. It's made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, weighing just 2.5 grams compared to earlier copper pennies that weighed 3.11 grams. Segment why the 1985 penny is special: rarity, errors, and varieties. Now here's where things get really interesting. The average 1985 penny is very common. Over 18 billion pennies were struck that year across 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Mint mark that means in theory, this coin is everywhere. But not all 1985 pennies are created equal. Some 1985 pennies have rare errors, double dies, and off-center strikes that make them extremely valuable to collectors. Let's break it down. The DDO is a collector's dream. This error occurs during the minting process when the coin die strikes the blank planchet twice, but slightly misaligned. This causes doubling in the letters or numbers. For 1985, the doubling can sometimes be seen on the word Liberty or the date 1985 itself. Finding a crisp, bold DDO on a 1985 penny can turn your 1-cent coin into a $100 to $400 collectible, depending on the condition. Off-center strike: an off-center penny is a coin that wasn't perfectly centered during the strike. If 5% to 10% of the coin is off-center, it's neat. But if it's 40% or more off-center and still shows the full date, you've got a gem. These coins can go from $50 to $200 or more, especially in uncirculated condition. Clipped planchet error: imagine a penny that looks like someone took a bite out of it. That's a clipped planchet error. It happens when a blank coin isn't perfectly cut from the metal sheet. For the 1985 penny, a clipped error in great condition could sell for $75 to $150. Wrong planchet error: this is rare, but it's like hitting the jackpot. A 1985 penny mistakenly struck on a dime or foreign coin planchet would be significantly lighter or smaller than expected. These can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the anomaly. Segment the $663 penny. How does it happen? So how does a simple 1985 penny end up selling $4,663? It all comes down to grade, rarity, and demand. The penny in question was likely graded MS67 or higher. That's mint state, meaning it looks nearly perfect under magnification with no scratches, blemishes, or toning. Coins like this are extremely rare because even brand new coins tend to get tiny nicks from rolling and handling. A 1985 Lincoln cent in PCGS certified MS67 red sold for $663 at auction. That's a record breaker for a modern zinc penny. So if you think your 1985 penny looks sharp, consider sending it in for professional grading. The top grading services like PCGS or NGC can tell you if your penny is a potential gold mine. Segment how to check your 1985 penny at home. You don't need fancy tools to start hunting. Here's what you can do right now: weigh it. Use a digital scale. It should weigh around 2.5 grams. If it's heavier, you might have a transitional error. Magnify it. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect the lettering, date, and Lincoln's profile for signs of doubling. Compare it. Look online for high-resolution images of DDOs and off-center errors. Don't clean it. Never clean your coins. It can ruin the surface and reduce its value drastically. Segment market value and where to sell. Let's talk money. As of now, in 2025, here's what collectors are paying for 1985 Lincoln cents error coins. $50 to over $1,000 depending on the rarity. You can sell them on eBay, heritage auctions, great collections, or even local coin shops. Just make sure to research and consider getting it graded first. Graded coins sell for much more. Segment final thoughts. Your penny could be a jackpot. So there you have it, folks. That little 1985 penny sitting in your change jar could be worth more than you think. Whether it's a double die, an off-center strike, or just a pristine gem in mint condition, collectors are out there ready to pay top dollar for the right coin. And the best part, you don't need to spend a fortune to find one. Just keep looking, stay curious, and don't overlook the pennies because some are worth hundreds. If you learned something new today or found this video valuable, Smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more rare coin secrets and money-making discoveries. Have a 1985 penny or any coin you want me to feature next, drop it in the comments below. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find a penny worth a fortune. This is signing off. Rare Coins 1985 Penny Coin Collecting, Lincoln Cent, Money in Your Pocket, Treasure Hunting, 1-cent coin. Today, we're diving into one of the most mysterious and valuable modern coins in your pocket change. The 1988 ultra-rare Lincoln Cent. This little copper beauty could be worth not just a cent, but as much as $442 or even more. Stick around as we reveal what makes this coin so special, its incredible history, and how you can spot one in your own collection. Let's take a step back in time to the year 1988. Ronald Reagan had just left office. The Cold War was coming to an end. CDs were replacing cassette tapes. And in the world of coin collecting, a tiny anomaly was quietly being stamped into circulation by the United States Mint that would later drive collectors wild. The Lincoln Cent, first introduced in 1909, had already gone through several transformations by 1988. It bore the iconic bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the front side designed by Victor David Brenner, a timeless symbol of American strength and unity. On the reverse side, in 1988, the penny still featured the Lincoln Memorial design, crafted by Frank Gasparo, before being replaced in 2009, but 1988 held a secret. A few pennies from that year were struck with a reverse design that should have been retired in 1981. Yes, you heard that right. And these weren't errors you could easily spot. Only the keenest-eyed collectors noticed the detail. So, what turns an ordinary 1988 penny, just 1 cent, into a coin worth over $400? The answer lies in a detail that's almost invisible without magnification: the design of the letters on the reverse. Most 1988 pennies feature a reverse made from the newer zinc and copper-plated die design. However, some coins were mistakenly struck using the older 1981 proof reverse die. This rare variation is called the 1988 reverse of 1981 penny, or more specifically, the 1988 transitional reverse, and the giveaway is in the FG initials, the initials of designer Frank Gasparo. On normal 1988 pennies, the FG is more stylized and separated, but on this ultra-rare version, the FG is closer together and sharper, as it was on the proof coins from 1981. This kind of error is known as a die variety, and in the world of numismatics, the study of coins, it's pure gold. Only a handful have ever been confirmed by major grading companies like PCGS and NGC. And yes, they have been authenticated, graded, and sold for hundreds of dollars. Let's talk composition. By 1988, the U.S. Mint had already transitioned from 95% copper pennies to copper-plated zinc coins. This transition happened in 1982. So the 1988 Lincoln Cent is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, giving it a light weight of 2.5 grams. But even though the metal isn't valuable, the design is what collectors are after. It's not what it's made of, but how it was made that makes all the difference. So, now you're probably wondering, how do I find one of these? How do I know if my 1988 penny is worth 1 cent or $400? Here's what to look for. Flip the coin to the reverse side, that's the side with the Lincoln Memorial. Look just to the right of the statue. Inside the memorial, you'll see the tiny initials FG. On the rare version, these initials are closer to the building, not spaced out or weak. You'll also notice more sharpness and definition in the columns and details. To be certain, use a coin loop or magnifying glass, or take it to a professional for grading and authentication. Yes, if authenticated and graded in high condition, this 1988 variety penny has sold for hundreds of dollars. Recent sales on auction platforms like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and through certified grading services show this coin fetching $350 to $442, sometimes even higher depending on the condition and rarity. Let's break it down. Circulated condition $50 to $150, uncirculated / mint state condition $300 to $450, certified and graded by PCGS or NGC with top marks. Potentially $500 plus. The market is hot for error coins, and demand continues to rise, especially for transitional errors like this. Check your pocket change, you'd be surprised what's still out there. Go through old penny rolls by rolls from the bank or collectors and search through them. Estate sales and garage finds. People often overlook small coin collections at these events. Check old jars and drawers. If someone collected pennies in the 1980s or 1990s, you might strike gold. Join coin forums and Facebook groups. Fellow hobbyists often trade tips or even rare coins. The 1988 ultra-rare Lincoln cent isn't just a valuable coin, it's a glimpse into the machinery, design flaws, and hidden history of the U.S. Mint. It proves that something as small as a penny can hold a world of value. Not just in dollars but in stories, history, and craftsmanship. So next time you hear someone say, "It's just a penny," you might want to take a closer look. You never know, you could be holding a fortune right in your hand. Thanks for watching, coin fans. If you found this video valuable, hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing coin finds, and share this video with your fellow treasure hunters. Got a rare penny story or questions about your own coin? Drop it in the comments below. Read every single one. Remember, every coin tells a story, and some are worth a lot more than you think. Happy hunting, and we'll see you in the next video.